Hello, it's Dr. Fred, and welcome to the Healthy Healer podcast solo version. The idea this week is that we are taking on a question that I've been wondering about inside of the coaching industry for some time. Most coaches talk about that we have to change and grow and develop and be different than we are now in order to contribute effectively to the world. Like there's something that has to happen to us in order for us to grow into our desired ideal self. And there's a lot of people who believe that's so, that there's an initiation of sort, or maybe there's a growth and development eye of the needle that we need to go through, or we need to have difficult times or be challenged to sort of knock the soot off of ourselves and maybe get the cobwebs or the rust off of us by sort of shaking ourselves into a new reality, as if we have to grow and develop into being something that we're not in order to be happy and fulfilled and loving and accepting of ourselves in this lifetime. This is an important question, and we take that on with my guest this week, Rex Sykes. And the question really gets begged because so much of coaching is about offering something to people as if they're going to change in our presence, and they're going to change to be a better person or a greater person or a bigger person or um, a badder person of some sort, like someone who's making a bigger difference. So, maybe more of a person. And maybe that isn't so. Maybe what we have here is an opportunity to just get really serious and really down and grounded with the idea that we are great people just like we are. And that there's nothing wrong with us experiencing life exactly as we are, even in the face of occasional disempowering moments or times, or fragments or segments of time. It's possible that being in those segments of and fragments of momentary disempowerment is simply an aspect of humanity that is exquisite in and of its own self and represents the course of humanity. I don't hear about a lot of people who have disempowerment all worked out. I do hear about people who have learned how to beat back disempowerment early in the day, for instance, with going through early morning routines or incantations or exercise or meditation or breathing or journaling or some sort of mindfulness or some sort of special activities or attention paid to what they take into their system, whether that's a smoothie or celery juice or water with lemon. There's a lot of things that people do in the morning, but it's in order to combat what would otherwise be there with their default, which is somewhat of a disempowering context. Do we need to change in order to deal with that, or can we accept that as an exquisite part of ourselves and something that we can actually take on today and have a life that's actually working starting right now? Or do we have to go through hard times in front of us in order to become the person that we know ourselves to be? So, what does it mean to go into our life and to get and to be calm and comfortable with who we are right now, rather than the natural discomfort that is accompanies most of our existences, as if we are um, blaming of ourselves, shaming of ourselves, guilting of ourselves for being who we are and not being living up to the person that we know ourselves to be, as if that's likely to happen sometime in the future if we go through these difficult boot camp or hard times. This is a very important question that we're taking on. And this week, I have an open conversation with Rex Sykes about that. The idea being that we can, in fact, appreciate ourselves. We can, in fact, have gratitude for all that's going on now. And we can, in fact, become the people that we want to be by being exactly who we are and gaining some degree of comfort with all that we are and all that we're not. Can we be accepting of ourselves? Can we be forgiving ourselves? Can we be compassionate with ourselves so that we know ourselves to be the beautiful, divine, essential beings that we are, and have gratitude for all that's going on in our lives, both inside and out, in such a way to acknowledge that we already are that which we want to be. And we don't need to go through fundamental changes in order to incorporate that into our lives. This is an important shift, and the shift that is there is a shift of mindset. So, in fact, we don't need the data around us to change, but we do need to recognize that with giving ourselves this level of compassion, acceptance, forgiveness, and patience, we have an opportunity of stepping into ourselves, loving ourselves for who we are, loving life for all that it is and all that it isn't, including the miserable and difficult, painful aspects of it, and stepping into our greatness from the space that we are, just like we are. This is a concept that's difficult to actually internalize because most of us see our experience as being suboptimal. We have pains and suffering, we have discomfort, and at times even misery about who we are, whether that's how we see our physical body or who we are with other people or what we're able to achieve or what we think or what we're dogged by or any other kind of um, discomfort we might experience. And we think that we need to change in order to take care of that, in order to have ourselves be less uncomfortable and thereby make a difference in the world from a space of a greater degree, a sense of worthiness, a sense of comfort, a sense of uh, um, self love that might occur if we become bigger, badder, better people. The fact is, we don't have to become bigger, badder, better people. And we can live with who we are right now, step into that, and be the person that we are right now, beautiful and complete as we are, whole and acceptable as we are, in fullness and without the need for improvement. This is a condition that many of us bypass. The present world has us believing that we're to change, that if we just read the right books or do the right activities or think the right thoughts or get around the right people, we will change and become better people, which is what we ultimately want. But the fact is that we can indeed know ourselves to be exactly as we are without having to change into being better people and become a better person simply by accepting all the notions, all the pieces of what humanity is and what it isn't. And getting that welcome to humanity is self explanatory. Each and every experience and each and every thought and each and every um, aspect of who we're being as humans is part of the beauty of being human. And you are full, you are complete, you are whole, you are perfect just like you are. It is an interesting concept to swallow, but one that is the theme for this week. And I invite you to take it on as we listen to my conversation with Mr. Sykes, as well as the conversation today. If you're interested in this and if this actually moves you in any way, I'd love for you to comment and, of course, subscribe to the podcast, because what we do when you subscribe is it really makes a difference and allows me to get this broadcast out to a larger number of people. Thank you for listening to The Healthy Healer. Thank you for being a fan. Thank you for subscribing. And thank you for your thoughts and your ideas about what you're hearing from me this week and every other week that we broadcast The Healthy Healer. Bye for now. We'll catch you on the flip side.